So this is my latest, or one of my latest ones. This is Magical Mantras for Enhancing Your Mindset. So as you can see, it's just a small little book. Beautiful colours. I love the colours. If you can't tell by now, I love colour. So this one, basically for me, probably in terms of my self-development and self-love journey, affirmations have been key to really just retraining my brain away from my limiting beliefs. So this is what I've created, this particular journal, well, basically based on that concept. So it's actually just, replacing any of those negative or limiting beliefs that you have, or negative self-talk, with some really positive mantras that you can carry with you throughout the day. So how this one works is you run your thumbs or your fingers over the page, take a deep breath, and then just intuitively open it up, select the page that you again intuitively choose, and see what that mantra is. So I've got, old ways will not open new doors. I will do what feels right for me, which I think that's a really important thing to have in my mind. I think, I will do what feels right for me is probably the most important thing, because we do get a lot of pressures from different places, whether that be family, friends, work, around what they think is the right thing to do. And I think it's really important that we take that time to really tune in and go, well, what do I want to do? And, am I doing what I want to do? So that is that little book, which is gorgeous. Another newbie, which has been quite popular, probably my most popular product, is the Daily Gratitude Journal. And this one here is basically designed to help you learn to uncover the extraordinary in the ordinary. So really just tuning into those everyday things around you that bring you joy and amplifying them in your experience. So for me, and I've talked about it before, like just that first sip of coffee in the morning is amazing to get the heart started, as they say. And I just really enjoy it, because usually when I'm having that coffee, I'm the sort of person that, I'm not having the coffee on the run. Like, it's usually after I've got the kids out of the house and maybe I'm settling down to start my day, whether that be in the workplace or working from home. So for me, it's like that first moment of quiet in the day where I can actually gather my thoughts. So for me, that's an ordinary moment that actually feels quite extraordinary. So with this journal, it actually will help you to develop a gratitude practice. So essentially train your brain to recognize those moments in your day that do bring you joy, and just really amplify them in your experience. So with this particular one, and sorry, might need to move out a little bit so you can see. It starts off by helping you to identify those everyday moments initially. So that's what this part's about. And then it's about developing your own gratitude practice over time. So if gratitude is something that's new to you and you feel like your brain needs quite a bit of training, then I would definitely recommend that this is something that you would do every day. So you would go through and complete the daily gratitude practice. So you'd have a positive message, which you could get from the Magical Mantras for Enhancing Your Mindset. You'd have your daily positive message. Then you would list at the end of the day the things that you were grateful for, what moments of personal growth did you experience that day, and who or what inspired you that day, which is also really like a really important thing to be mindful of, because sometimes we can sort of take other people for granted as well. So in our lives, whether that be our friends or our family who do really lovely things for us, sometimes we fail to recognize it because maybe we've become a little bit complacent, or we expect that they're going to do that. So in terms of enhancing your relationships, that's a really good prompt. And the other thing is, I suppose, when you're thinking about who or what inspired you today, if it's a who, it's actually sharing with that person what they actually did that did inspire you, or that you were grateful for, because that increases or enhances their experience of life as well, because we like to know that what we're doing is having a positive impact on others. So that's if you're quite new to developing a gratitude practice, you would do that every day. But if you are a little bit further along in the journey, then just use it when you feel like it. So, for example, I've got one sitting just back over here, and I might fill it in every, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, and just fill it in, and yeah, it's just a really nice way to enhance that practice. And you get to the point basically where you start just doing it automatically. You start to recognize things in others that you're grateful for, and you start to recognize things in your everyday life that you're grateful for. So it's like basically creating your own permanent silver lining, which is really cool. And the other thing about it is, you know, over time, once you've completed the book, you can reflect back and remember all of those experiences and go, oh yeah, I remember that. And, you know, that's always nice as well, to have those beautiful memories. So that's that one. That one's the Daily Gratitude Journal. Don't worry, we have them for men as well. So I'm sorry, I'm just trying to avoid the glare. This one is Gratitude for Blokes. So very similar setup, because obviously the practice doesn't change whether you're male or female or non-binary. It's all the same. We're all humans, and the practice works across the board. So some of the language obviously in the start is tailored more to the masculine, and again going through that exercise of identifying those things that bring them joy in the day-to-day life, and then that daily gratitude practice as well. So if you are a man and you're watching today, or if you have a man in your life that you think might benefit from a gratitude practice, then this book's for them. And look, I think we might think that gratitude practice as it is a little bit of a woo-woo thing, but it is actually backed by a lot of scientific research that this is probably one of the most powerful and simple things that you can do to improve your experience of life, is actually to become more grateful, or become more appreciative of the good things around you. So definitely, yeah, worth investing in. Even if you're not going to use the journals, definitely worth investing for yourself. This is one of my first journals that I developed. Maybe if I go to this side, the glare won't be so bad. This one is Magical Mindset for Making Your Goals a Reality. And I'm just in the process of revamping this one, so you can see it's quite big, and I think I'm making it sort of two-thirds, sorry, the size that it is, just so that it's a bit more user-friendly. And essentially, when I developed this one, I developed it with the intent of, because a lot of my work initially is and still is around goal setting, and basically using goal setting as a way of embodying the changes that you want to make in your life. So challenging your limiting beliefs or negative thoughts, and then embodying them in your life through goal setting. So, but what I recognise that some people weren't ready for that yet, in terms of self-sabotage and you know, maybe just not their thinking needed a little bit of tweaking so that they could have a more effective goal setting journey. So that's why I developed this one. So this one is basically, it's a toolkit of all of my positive psychology knowledge around ways to tweak your thinking to enhance your experience of life. So I'll just quickly go through some of the exercises. But it talks about, in a fun way, talks about neuroplasticity, and basically how your brain, the idea behind your brain is that the neurons that fire together wire together. So when we're quite young, usually, in response to those things that might have evoked quite a lot of emotion in us, they have actually formed our neural pathways in our brain. So now when things happen that our brain recognizes as being similar, it'll have the same reaction over and over again, without us actually giving or having the ability to actually slow down and form different neural pathways or react differently. So basically what this journal does in a lot of the activities is to help you slow down that automatic neural pathway so that you can basically give yourself a different perspective on things. And then through taking that concentrated action or deliberate action to interrupt that neural pathway and replace it with something that's more helpful to the outcome that you're trying to achieve, you're going to actually rewire your brain. So it's really interesting. Like when I was studying psychology, how many years would that be now? Probably, I'd say nearly 20 years ago. Neuroplasticity wasn't even a thing. Like it just wasn't even spoken about or talked about. It was basically like you're born with a certain amount of neurons, and basically they die as you get older, or if you do certain things they die. And we never really were taught that your brain could rewire itself, or you could change your thinking and things like that. So neuroplasticity, it's a shame it came out after I did my studies the way it has, because it's probably my favourite part of psychology, and the thing that all of my tools and resources within Thrivergy are actually based on. They're based on the idea that we do have neuroplasticity, and if we can effectively interrupt the way that our brain automatically fires and replace it with something that's going to be more helpful to us, we can actually enhance all areas of our life. So as I said, that's what this one, in a fun way, because I know that can be a little bit dry. For some people, I love it, but for some people that can be a little bit dry. But this journal actually helps you to interrupt those neural pathways in a fun way and get you really slowing down some of those automatic reactions and exploring, are they helpful? Are they not? Where did they come from? Are they even mine? And then helping you to then put in place some different thoughts, some different actions that will get you closer to the outcome that you're looking for. So that's what that one does. And the last two that I'm going to talk about today is the Unleash Your Potential, a Power-Packed Goal Activation Journal. So this was my first product, and I've now got one for the masculine as well. So they're both available on my website. Both follow a very similar process, but obviously tailored more to, this one's tailored more to the feminine, and this one's tailored more to the masculine. So with these ones, this was where Thrivergy started, really. I started doing workshops in the local community that I lived in around goal setting, and walked people through a process so that they could get really clear, I suppose, on what they wanted their life to look like in the first instance. So again, we get to a certain point, a lot of us in our lives, where we feel like we've ticked all the boxes of what success looks like, but we're still not feeling that sense of fulfillment or happiness, really. We're not feeling like, I don't know, the world isn't colourful, it feels a bit grey. So we're looking for that colour, and we're wondering why, we've met all the milestones, why haven't we got that colour? So, yeah, that's what this is about. It's actually really getting to the core of who you are and what brings you joy, and recognising that is not going to be the same as everybody else, because we are all completely unique. So it's doing that with a focus on self-compassion and self-love. So it talks you through sort of, getting clear on what that looks like for you. Lots of brainstorming. Like, I love brainstorming. That's an amazing way to just really unlock the essence, I suppose, of who you are and your amazing ideas, because we've all got amazing ideas in our heads that maybe we shut down too quickly because we don't think it's going to be acceptable, or we sort of poo-poo our own thoughts. So brainstorming is an amazing way to unlock that creativity, where you just basically write everything down without judgment, and then have a look over it and choose those different actions or different goals that have meaning for you. So this one here takes you through that process in your own time, in your own space. It's very easy to follow. So once you've set the goals, you set action plans to accompany them. I don't know, I suppose I am a bit of a nerd, but I love it. I love setting goals, and I love knowing how I'm going to achieve it, and setting some actions, really simple things that I can tick off. And yeah, the satisfaction that I get from doing that process, and knowing that I'm doing things that make me happy, just, yeah, definitely gets my endorphins flowing. So you go through that process of setting all the goals, and then at the end, there's space to actually track them for the next 12 months. So, because that's I think the key thing for those of you that maybe have, there we go, so month 7, for example, and you go through and track them, review, because things change. So you want to make sure that you're still on track. But I think for a lot of people, when we set goals, we kind of say, you know, I'm going to go for a 5K run every day. And motivation wanes over time. Like you find it really hard to keep yourself motivated and continue with that action that you set. So I think this process is really helpful because it helps you to, first of all, explore your why and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. It helps you look at what supports you might need to make that doable. And then it breaks it down to really easy steps. So for me, for example, if I said right now that I want to go for a 5K run, I wouldn't survive. So that would never happen again. I would get out and I would absolutely die. So for me, that goal is completely off the charts. But I could start by potentially, you know, looking at the resources that I would need to get me in that space. And, you know, I think it's that, what is it, the 5 Couch to 5K or something program. I would probably look into something like that, and then I would set my goals sort of using that program to help me to get to where I need to be. So that's what it does. It actually just helps you to break down those big goals into really clear, actionable steps, and then on a month-by-month basis, you can actually go through and review how you're tracking, what needs to change. Yeah, sometimes you might need to change the goal or the action. And I think the other thing that I've personally found with goal setting and goal achievement is that once you start to open the doors through achieving your goals, there's so much more opportunity to do other things. So it's, you know, the things that you thought were possible at the start of your goal setting journey, you know, might be quite limited. But as you start to achieve your goals and do the actions, more doors open, and you might go, wow, I'm going to go in this pathway that I didn't even know was possible to me. So yeah, that's the beauty of a really effective goal setting journey and goal achievement journey. So those are the main ones that I have. I'm just having a quick look around because I did have another one. Oh, here we go. I've been using this one, but this is another newbie. So just trying to get the glare to move. So this one is the Magical Mood Boosting Daily Planner. Again, helping you to achieve your goals with a smile on your face. And essentially, this one here is a to-do list. So it's going to be a great day, but on each page, each alternate page, again, is another really powerful affirmation based on sort of self-love and self-compassion principles. So every day is different. You'll have a different affirmation to keep you motivated. And the to-do list, again, it's sort of based on positive psychology principles, as in you've got a space for gratitude, your mood, thoughts and ideas to capture, your appointments, your to-do list here, but then also setting your number one priority for the day. So to help you to get that clarity. So that's another one of my newbies. So yeah, that is my journals. I love creating them. I love making practical and engaging resources that people can use in their day-to-day life to help them to enhance their experience of life. You know, life's short, so, you know, the only one that can really change your experience of life is you. It really does depend on, I mean, look, we all go through horrible times, and I do not discount that for a second, because life can be tough, and it is tough right now for a lot of people. But we can change the way that we view things so that we can be a little bit more optimistic and a little bit more hopeful. And what that does is actually help you to get through those tough times, knowing that, you know, like good times, they don't last forever, and neither do bad times. So it's just really cherishing the good times and making the most of it. And when you hit those tough times, it's just knowing it's not going to last and supporting yourself as much as possible through it. So that's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, if you've got any questions about anything that I do in relation to my journals and in relation to the Thrivergy, please reach out. It's still, I mean, I've been doing this for a while, but it's still quite new to me. I'm not the biggest fan of public speaking, but I am the biggest fan of, you know, of this mindset work. And yeah, really, I just want to share it with as many people as possible. So thank you for those that have joined me today, and yeah, I hope to talk with you more in the future.